At times I will cry. How will I give this child? How will this child grow up? How will she, get the nutritious food that will make
People, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name remains Oluwadamilola Kolawole, and I'm so excited as always to have you here today. So today I'm having someone so special, dear to my heart, the special superwoman that is in my life, my amazing, sweet, excellent, wonderful, virtuous mother. Please welcome my sweet mother to our YouTube channel. Welcome, ma. I'm so excited and grateful
to be here.
Thank you so much, ma, for having us. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate your presence here. So most times I always get this question, my baby is not eating. As a first-time mom, I always ask that question. I know that's one thing that is in the minds of so many moms. Like, my child is not eating, especially from 7 months of age. Like, my DMs are always full with that question. What can I do? And sometimes I give my little advice from what I studied and from my experience as well. But now I have my mom with me, who have 3 of us. I happen to be the first child, and I have 2 other siblings. And today I just decided to bring her on here for her to talk to us on challenges as a mom too. She was also a first-time mom and also had 2 other children aside me, so she will be able to talk to us about the challenge that she passed through being a mom and trying to feed our baby and our kids. So welcome, ma, once more.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
Yes, can you just introduce yourself?
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, ma.
I'm Ronke Bello.
Okay.
I'm a mom and a grandmama.
A grandma.
A glamour.
She forgot to say that part. She's always saying that I'm a glamour. So what does glamour means? For those who doesn't know, glamour means grandma. Yes, we always like to say grandma so that she won't feel too funky. She'll remember that she's someone's grandmother. Thank you so much, Va, for joining us.
Good to be here. Thank you so much.
So, ma, being a mom to 3 children, I know you were a first-time mom actually, and I'm actually your first child. So, how was it feeding your children? What was the feeling like? How was it when it was time for you to win your little one, especially me because I'm your first? So how was it? What was your experience like feeding 3 different children? Because I know children and babies are different.
Yeah, of course.
So what was your experience like?
Thank you so very much for this question. First and foremost, you have to know your child. What type of food that your child loves most. Like for example, for my first child, as she was growing up,
like me, I'm your first
child. She likes anything that is kind of watery and all that. So it depends on what the child likes. You have to study the baby, study him or her, what he or she likes most before you fix her diet or his diet. It will make it so easy for you to know how you go about it. That's the first thing. In my own time, as a first timer, as of that time, it was very difficult for me. Very, very difficult for me, to the extent that at times I will cry. How will I give this child? How will this child grow up? How, as a mother, you will want your child or your baby to grow healthy. Growing healthy is from the food that you give to your child. So you have to, you have to study your child, know whatever kind of food that he or she likes before you can do your timetable.
Now, my second question I would like to ask you, ma, was it different? Like 3 of us, was our feeding us different? Like,
sure, very, very different experience.
So you can say from worse to better to like.
Exactly.
Okay.
For my first child, it was so difficult for me, after winning her, it was very difficult because she was very used to that breast milk. Okay. Now, from breast milk, to solid, it was very difficult because she found that the solid is like, what kind of food is this? So it was very, very difficult. But for my second child, oh, boys can eat. I had no problem at all, feeding my second child, which happened to be a boy. The feeding was so easy for me, very, very easy. That's, a unique experience.
Okay.
Because I had no problem at all, feeding him.
I feel like it's because you've already had your first child, so you're able to know, okay, experience is the best teacher. Like, okay, this second one is going to be better, and the third is going to be okay. So you already understood children. So I think what I can get from this is that know your child, understand your child, and once you're experienced in feeding your baby, the first one, the second one will be like pass. But I know some children too are difficult too. Different children and different calls and all that at the same time.
Children are different.
Yeah.
Exactly. They are very different. Let me just go straight to the third one.
Okay.
The third one is just in between the first and the second.
Okay,
she doesn't eat very well, but at times you will force her to eat, but at times she will, gradually. And again, one thing that I noticed, once you have your first child, your second child, most especially, the second content from the second child, while the third one was, like, oh, I've seen the first, I've seen the second, so anything goes, but in moderation.
Thank you, man.
So I had different type, of experience winning my children as a baby.
So now my second question would be like, is there different options? What were the options you have then?
No, we don't really, during our own time, we don't really have so many options, because what we feed our babies with then is either pap, this normal pap that we take, akamu, yes. We have Cerelac. Then at times we have the formula. We mix the nutrient or the pap with the formula. That's what we give, except, and, from some mothers from 6 months, they give their child, this amala, solid, soft amala with ewedu to go.
Very important.
Very important, Or maybe you can blend most of our solid food that we eat, like rice, Yes, exactly. Really, we don't really have so much like today.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Now my next question I would like to ask, what was it like sourcing for foods that your little one were eating? Like, since you mentioned pap, I know definitely pap that time won't be a stress or a hustle. Like the remaining nutrient you talked about, was it really difficult getting it, or you could get it in a store or anywhere? And lastly, at what age did you start weaning your little one?
From 6 months.
Okay, so even then it was still 6 months.
Yes.
That was the perfect age. Okay, that's right.
I did, for my third child, that was baby friendly. Child, I stopped breastfeeding her when she was around, let me just say, between 6 and 8 months.
Wow. So
yes. No, at all. At all.
So another question is, I know most babies tend to take this picky eating from their parents, like they are selective about foods, selective about the color of the food, the smell and the taste. So will you say you were a picky eater, or my dad, which is your husband, was also a picky eater?
I was.
Okay, so now you say I took the picky eating from you.
Yes.
Okay, and I would say maybe my child will take the picky eating from me. Because I know as time goes on, babies actually tend to be selective. I won't say picky, be selective with the foods they eat based on the fact that their parents too, or one of their parents was either picky about something that they didn't like, so one of the child was always picky about it. Okay, so I should expect a picky eater.
I think so.
We already said the fact that we are different. Now, my question is that, okay, as three of us were different, now three of us were growing. So how was it feeding three of us at different stages? Like, I know I'm the firstborn, I have my brother, my sister, and we have differences like 2 to 3 years aside. So, like, when you were giving myself and my brother food, were you giving my sister, the youngest, the same food, or how was it like trying to give three of us different ages?
Good questions.
You alone taking care of the kids. How was it like?
Like for my kids, I space my kids.
Okay. Did you say it's advisable to space your kids?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Because of the stress.
Oh, it's really
Stress, yeah. Can't you see that I'm looking radiant and younger? Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much. You have to space. I space my kids. You know, like my first child.
Me?
Yeah. I spaced her with 3 years. 3 years, the second child, 4 years. So it was very, very easy for me, you know, to feed them.
Okay.
Because what I'm giving to the first is not what I'm giving to the second, and the third is not the same thing. But at the time, they were eating the same food as they were growing up. So it was very easy for me, you know, to feed them.
And one thing that I understood about feeding little one is being patient. You know, now in this generation, moms are always busy, moms and dad are always working. How are you able to inculcate patience in feeding, especially me who was a picky eater? How are you able to be patient in feeding? What was like your motivation? Because me, when I was feeding my child from 6 months, it was frustrating. Sometimes I had to learn how to be patient to feed him, like stay for 1 hour or 1.5 hours to 2 hours trying to feed him to eat a meal. It was frustrating. So how were you able to pick up this patience? Although I've grown and I'm more patient now feeding him. So how are you patient feeding 3 children? Like, how did you do it?
I don't know. First and foremost, I would like you to know that I was not even working.
Okay.
I was not working.
Okay, so you dedicated that time for us.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. It's really not easy, though, I must say. It's not easy for mothers to sacrifice that time.
I know. That is why we are called sweet mothers.
Wow. So I must commend that. Another question I would like to ask is, I'm now into healthy eating for babies and as well kids, because if you look at everything going on now, you find out that there are so many preservatives, there are so many processed food that are really dangerous to the health.
Yes.
Even as for adults. But I really want children and babies to start eating healthy from a tender age. That's one thing Winning is Winning stands for. And so I want to ask, during the time you were raising us up, was there awareness for healthy eating? And was the junk food then really much? Like today you see a child going to school with 1 fizzy drinks every day? Because I feel going to school every day with fizzy drink is like you are increasing the baby's blood sugar level. But I'm more of natural juices and especially smoothies, because smoothies contain fiber. So I would like to ask, was there any kind of awareness during that period?
Yeah.
Okay, there was awareness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
serious
great.
one. Yeah.
Okay. So healthy eating started.
Has been there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's great. I thought it was because now we have been
No.
Okay,
Even we give our babies as of then natural foods.
Oh yeah, that's really right.
Natural foods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what I told you about this pap, you know, making our pap, you know, there is different ways, to make it. Yeah. You know, as of then, we normally had this soya milk.
Okay.
You know, soya milk, you grind your crayfish, you know, to spice it, and it's very nutritious.
Okay.
So then, natural food
was
very important.
Okay.
Very, very important.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that. I actually thought it just really recently started. Okay. So what would you like to tell my moms, especially on Winning is Winning? Like I said earlier on, most moms get so frustrated feeding their babies. I'm always like, be patient, always take your time, and always try as much as you can to always give your little one varieties. Like I always say, there are different ways you can cook food. For instance, beans, you can make beans into akara, you can make beans to moi moi, you can make turn beans into porridge with plantain, with yam porridge. There are so many ways you can do with beans. You can't just give your child beans, maybe beans porridge alone, and say my baby is a picky eater, or my baby does not like beans. Maybe your baby or your child likes beans with plantain, beans with yam, beans with so thing. So in feeding your little one, you have to be patient, you have to explore different flavors.
Yeah.
And I know some children are so concerned with the texture, they are so concerned with the flavor, they are so concerned with the
taste.
With the taste. And most children, just the way we are, they have their own personalities. Babies too have their own personalities. And just like my mom said, your child has been used to breast milk for a long time. You cannot just come after 6 months of their life. Like 6 months, if your child is 6 months, it means that's their whole life. So you cannot just come their whole life and just start bringing something and putting into their mouth. They'll be like,
strange.
This is strange. So some children, you need to be patient with them. It takes consistency. Just be trying. Don't just say you tried today, they didn't take, you not try tomorrow. You just have to be consistent.
Exactly.
And be patient.
Exactly.
And when you're starting feeding your little one, just don't bring one thick food like pounded yam. They'll be like, you want to poison them. Even their body system will be like, kilo today leni. It's like, what is this? This is so strange. So you have to make it runny, you have to make it watery to the consistency that they want. I always advise my moms to give their babies avocado, because avocado is just like breast milk. Definitely you are going to mash it, add water, add milk to it to make it even more creamy.
Yes.
So now, mom, I just want to ask you, is there any I would say last, because definitely we are going to be having you here, is there any just say something or encouraging to our mothers in regards to winning their babies?
Well, my yummy mothers.
Yes, yummy mommies.
Yummy mommies. I want to thank God for your lives.
Thank you, Lord.
You know, they say children are gifts from God.
Yes.
So these gifts, we have to really take care of them very well. You know.
God will make a way for us.
Amen.
I just have one and I'm like,
hey. Amen.
Amen.
I just want to encourage you by telling you to have patience. Okay. Just have patience with the babies. Have patience with them. You know, love them. Always pet them. You know, some babies likes to be pets, you know, especially when they are feeding them. You know, call them sweet names and all that. Sing for them, you know. There is a different way of cajoling your kids, you know, winning them, you know. Like I have one of my children, you know, you have to sing. I think my last child. Oh, wow. You have to sing for her, okay, you know. Baby, let me just say, baby, curious. You know, that baby, curious, she will open her mouth, then I will put the food inside her mouth. Like my son, yeah. Gradually, she will finish up her food and you will tell her, clap for yourself, and she will clap. You know, by so doing, next time, it will, exactly. Next time, she will make herself available, you know, to eat. You know, continuously like that, you will see a different child, yeah. So I will encourage you to have patience with them. You don't have to be in a hurry to feed your child. Like I will tell my daughter that is here, you have to be, you know, let everything, stop everything, whatever you are doing, to face your child, especially when you are feeding him. You have to have patience, you have to have time, by so doing, with time, the baby will get used to it and all that, then you will overcome it. So patience, that's what I will have to say.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
God.
I'm so grateful. and I hope you yummy mommies were able to learn one or two things. Hopefully I hope to bring my mom more here to talk more and to even help us with some certain recipes as well. Yes, I thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited as always that you took out time to watch our videos. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and share it to other moms for them to be encouraged as well. And please don't forget to subscribe. I'll definitely see you in our next video. Until then, please stay safe and remember, your little one needs all the nutrients they can get from healthy foods. Let's raise healthy kids together. Bye bye.
Bye.